appreciate his company. Hey,
Chris?
do you remember us?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Steve. I'll just take a moment there.
You're quite different.
They, get the haircut every 2 months, but I just told them just to buzz pretty much everything off and all that. So.
I think, did you have a tea last time? Okay.
They have like a little single blade razor, so I just kind of, you don't like go past this double, you just kind of.
Just do the best you can.
You just gotta go with that.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How about you guys?
Good.
I did not expect to see this. That's for sure.
Surprised.
Yeah.
Well, let me put some fears aside. We're not here for what you might think we might be here for.
But they didn't know what that's the computer room. I was like, I didn't know how to computer room.
Without computers.
Exactly.
So you remember, I talked to you, Tammy talked to you, Dave talked to you. We're all from Colorado. And so the last time we talked to you was a different situation, right? Our investigation was open and your case was open. That's completely different now. So your case is completely closed. Nothing about what we're going to talk about today has anything to do with an open investigation. So we're not here to get more charges on you or get any statements from you that are going to jam you up anymore, right? That's all done. So all of our cases are closed and the court case is closed. So there's nothing that we're going to talk about today that's going to get you in any type of more trouble at all. And so I wanted to make sure you knew that's not why we're here. Okay. But why we are here. So the three of us work from three different agencies, right? Quite a bit different. CBI, FBI, and Frederick Police Department. And the things that happened with you kind of all brought us together. And as the months have passed on since everything happened, we just keep in touch with each other and we keep talking to each other. And we've all separately kind of said, did Chris seem unique to you? Me and Tammy have talked about this, Dave and I have talked about this. Did Chris's situation seem different to you? And we keep having that conversation. We can't quite put our finger on it, right? We think that your life leading up to all of the things that happened were very interesting to us. And for me personally, I don't know if you remember, but one of the last things you told me was, hey, Graham, I'm sorry that I started lying to you. And that stuck with me for the last couple months. It's been ringing in my head, right? I've never, ever worked a case like this where someone told me that, ever. And so as I walked away, I thought, Chris is different. Chris is a little bit unique in that regard. So in talking with Tammy and talking with Dave, I said, what did you feel like when it all went down? When we were there, when we were talking to you guys, and we all kind of, in our own different way and in our own different wording, said it all happened a bit too quick for us, right? So when we saw you last, we were talking about your family, about your parents, about everyone. And then the next thing you know, for me and Tammy and for Dave, all of a sudden some patrol officers came in and arrested you. And that was far quicker than we had hoped it would happen. And you understand why that happened, and we understand why that happened. But it left us with 1,000 questions that we didn't get to ask. And then even more importantly, I think it probably left you with 1,000 things that you didn't get to talk about with us. I don't know if you feel that way or not, but, and so that's why we're here today. We wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit more about everything, I think there's a lot of things that you didn't get to talk about. And so, that's why we're here. And it sticks with me that to this day, there's not one person that's told me, I saw it coming. I knew Chris was like that. I knew it. Not one person. So it's interesting to me, right? Not one. So we want to talk a little bit about that. Some of the people that we work with, your family, Shanann's family, have said, if you get to talk to Chris, would you tell him some things for me? So we have that to talk about today, and it's good. I think you'll like it. I think it will give you some closure. And so really that's why we're here. Are you available to talk to us?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So off the bat, if you have any questions, just tell us.
Okay.
If there's something that you don't want to talk about, that's okay. We might press you a little bit. Okay, we might say, Well, do you mind if we just maybe then ask one question? If something makes you uncomfortable, just tell us. If we need to take any bathroom breaks, we can take bathroom breaks. For anything like that. And we'll take bathroom breaks and water breaks ourselves too. So then, is there anything about your schedule today that makes it that you can't talk to us?
No, there's like a pass for this and the AM and the PM.
Okay.
They reserve the room the whole day.
Oh,
just
okay.
in case.
That's just what they do.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like two separate things or something.
I think you have to go back for lunch to get counted for or something.
Oh.
Accounted for.
Yeah, I think
11:30.
Lunch is like 11, but they're counting for like 12:15. So.
Okay. So in general, how is it here?
It's a lot different in Colorado.
Is it?
It's
Good or bad?
It's better, I think. Because it's here. I'm actually around other people. In Colorado, it was just like I was segregated, and it was like pounding on the walls all night, screaming, and just telling me
From other people?
Oh,
Really?
they're just telling me like how I should kill myself and like what they're gonna do to me and just like all that kind of stuff. So it was today. This is a lot different because people here don't seem to. It's not like they don't care, but it's just kind of like they don't like judge you as soon as you walk in. Colorado, it was like they knew why I was there and that was it. They're just like they had 1 second on with me, it would have been
Really?
they would, yeah.
Gee, man. Must be out then.
out of like what kind of jail. I don't know what it was like in DOC there, but like they had to lock down the jail for me to walk down the hallway.
Wow. It will. Mm-hmm. So they had to make sure you were completely separated from anyone else. Mm-hmm. Jeez.
Wow.
Like I didn't see anybody else there. Like I was in the cell next to somebody, but like I never saw them.
You just hear them.
How did they know who you were?
I don't know. I just they make phone calls in there too.
Oh, okay.
And they got the newspaper in there before I got in there. So
Yeah. How is have you been able to talk with family members?
oh, yeah, definitely. Like we get from 6 p.m. to 7:30. That's our my unit's time out. So we get to use the phone at that point in time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And do they charge you for it, or?
Oh, it's just like it's like Secures or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how do you make money to pay for that?
They put money on the phone.
Oh.
So if I call, if I was to dial somebody's number, they have to have a phone account set up.
Oh, I
Otherwise,
gotcha.
it's restricted.
And then so who you call pays for it?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Have you been able to talk to family members and parents and all
Yeah,
that?
my mom and dad, my sister.
Okay. Good. Is that a good thing?
That's a good thing.
Good. Good, man.
Yeah, they don't hear from me. They're like, "Oh, what's wrong?" What's going on?"
Oh, good. And how is it with them?
And so far, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It was hard to hear your parents at sentencing.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And so, yeah. I really appreciated what they said. I don't know about you.
I definitely was. I didn't expect them to be there. I knew they were there on the 6th, but I didn't expect them to fly back, and they wanted to fly back to that.
Yeah. And then what your mom said.
Definitely.
Okay. Good. Well, so we have 1,000 questions. I'm sure you do too. Do you care if we start, or do you have any questions for us?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So one of the things that we're battling with is, and I won't make any assumptions today. So, are you aware that this was a national story?
After a little while, I didn't talk to my parents while I was in Colorado.
Okay.
Because, my attorney team told me, all right, no phone calls, no letters, no nothing.
Okay.
So, I made one phone call when I was in the segregation area there, but my dad thought it was somebody a news.
Oh.
Somebody trying to call.
So he didn't answer?
Yeah, so he didn't answer, but other than that,
Okay.
I didn't talk to anybody, but from what some of the deputies were saying that, or my attorney team coming in and said, this is they've got people from Australia, England, and all kinds of people trying to figure out what's going on. So.
Did they send you any of the letters, like fan mail or anything? Well,
I got letters, but I couldn't keep them with me, so I could read them on my hour out. But it's I got a bunch of just letters that had no return address and stuff that was just not very good letters.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. They came from a weird perspective, didn't they? From what we had heard.
Definitely, there was one person, I guess, from Broomfield that was writing 4 times a week trying to come visit me, and then there was just a lot of people writing notes bleed through markers saying, like you're a monster, or all kinds of stuff.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about some hard issues today, but I don't intend to take you to a dark place today.
Okay.
I hope that when we're done, you'll feel better. I hope it'll be therapeutic. We're going to talk about, obviously, what happened with your family, and so that's going to be hard to talk about. I appreciate anything you can tell me about it. If you need to take time out, if you need to get a tissue, that's fine, right? I think it'll be very good for you. It'll be good for us. And so one of the reasons I asked about that national attention is we were aware that you were getting a lot of letters, a lot of interest, and then us personally as law enforcement, we got so many people who claim to have known you, claim to have been with you, dated you, slept with you, and 99 times out of 100, they were just crazy people, right? And so maybe that's a good place to start. Had you heard about any of that?
John, she told me about some dude from Wyoming.
Yeah.
Trent?
Yeah,
Trent.
that guy. That blew my mind. I was like, who the hell is this guy?
And who told you about that?
Attorney John Walsh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we talk about him?
Graham and I interviewed him.
You had to?
Yes.
Waste of our lives.
Yes.
So Trent, in summary, Trent came in and said, met you online on a dating app, had a few, casual but quick sexual encounters with you. And let me be very clear. Not only are we not here to damn you up today, we're also not here to judge you. And if there is anything like that, you can imagine we've heard way worse, way different, So if it's true, I hope that you can just casually say, yeah, I mean, this happened. It wasn't as bad as he said, but maybe this happened. So his story was met online, met you, and it was a time when you were experimenting with men. And so he said he met a couple times, met his friends, went to an apartment, had a couple of meetings in a parking lot, and then that was basically it. Does any of that sound familiar? Okay.
No, I've never met the guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he talked about being in your truck with your girls, like the whole 9 yards. So.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I've never even been to Wyoming, let alone
Okay.
driven up there to see someone.
Yeah. And so this is maybe a weird question for you, dude. Do you have any gay experience?
No.
Okay. Any interest?
No.
Okay. Ever had a time, experimented, wondered?
No.
Okay. Is it possible that he found you instead of you finding him?
From what John told me, he just found me on like a WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I don't even have that app.
Okay.
He had my phone, so
Okay.
you could probably,
Yeah, we know.
you could probably saw what app I had. But I'd never even heard of the app, but
Okay.
apparently, he told me, I met him to do, a rehab center or something.
Is that what he said?
No, that was another guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally, I had no idea.
So did you see a picture of him on the news or anything?
John showed me a picture of him.
Okay.
He was like, oh, this guy? I'm like, John was kind of, making fun of, you don't know him? Sure. Okay, I'm like, no.
So you saw it and you were like, no way.
Yeah, I was just
Big
like-
lips. Did you see his giant
Yeah,
lips?
it was just like, I have no clue who this guy is.
And he's somewhat memorable. And this-
Yeah.
If you met him or talked to him or got to know him, you might remember. He was kind of meek,
Yeah.
but also a little bit flamboyant.
Mm-hmm.
He did fake lips, or not fake lips, but injections.
Uh-huh.
He was very into skincare and makeup. And he mentioned that one of the times, just as a gift, you got him some skincare products.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of that sound familiar?
No.
Okay. You can imagine all the stuff we're dealing with. Okay, so that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Bolds. There was another gal that you were dealing with.
Amanda McMahon. Have you ever heard that name? No.
John showed me a picture of her.
Okay.
So you did see a picture of her too?
Yeah, he had that's the same.
Two.
Yeah.
Does that look familiar?
That's the same picture he showed me on the
Okay.
in my soul. And I was looking, I was like, who's that? He's like, oh, you don't know her either?
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
He said it was like a Chick-fil-A parking lot rendezvous or something.
Right.
And that's just not true.
That's what she's claiming.
Okay.
Only went to one Chick-fil-A in Colorado. That was the one in Broomfield, Highway 7.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable enough today to tell us if there were other people?
Yeah, it was just Nicole.
Okay.
Yes.
And that was it?
Yeah, that was it.
As these people have come out, for the most part, we've not given their stories much credit. They're just crazy people who want attention. And so, but when that does happen, it does make us think, there may have been others. And so Nicole was the only one.
That was the only one.
Was there ever like a one night stand with someone else just out of the blue and one and done?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you mind if we talk a little bit more about Nicole? Okay. So walk me through it, because that was one of the things we never really got to ask you about.
Right, we
We
didn't
just
talk.
kind of skipped on and talked about where the girls were. But so what happened there?
So it was probably around June 1st or something. That's when I first met her. And it was just like a work conversation. She messed with the gas meters that, we were out in the field. And I was messing up, and then I took it to her like, hey, what's going on with this? Like, I want to fix it. And, after that, we just ran into each other a few times in the office. And I think it was probably the fourth time meeting. She had asked me, because like when we were talking back and forth, I would say, like we moved here from Colorado or from North Carolina and stuff like that. And then she was like, "What's all this weed stuff you come?" Like, I took out my phone and showed her a picture. Like, my girl's on the phone. It's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Susan." I'm like, "Yeah," but I didn't wear a ring at work because like I sent off so it get refitted when I lost all that weight. So, but
You lost so much weight that your fingers lost weight?
it was literally like I was out in the snow one time. I went like that, and my ring went off on the rocks. So I was panicking trying to find out, like, I can't wear this anymore. But, so after that, she left me alone for a couple of days. And she texted me outside in the field. And then after that, we just kept texting back and forth. And it was just, it's like, like she used to work in a little rig out in North Dakota, I think. And we just kind of trading stories back and forth about what we did and everything. And then one day it just kind of went to a different level. And then I never thought I would ever go to that level, but she was talking about meeting up after we got back from San Diego. We were in San Diego from the 22nd to the 26th of June, and we met up after we got back, and
How did you guys meet up?
at a park in Thornton. Yeah, Thornton somewhere, and after that, we just kept seeing each other pretty much the whole month of July.
So let me ask you this. You tell me if I'm wrong. You strike me as somewhat of a shy person. So when you guys were meeting, was it just kind of very initiatory, like flirting at first? Okay. From both sides?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just kind of like feeling each other out. It's kind of like
Yeah. And so texts and calls?
more near the end of June,
Okay. And what makes you remember that it's June that it happened?
because we called each other before I left to go to San Diego.
Oh, okay. All right. At first, did you think something might happen?
I just thought it was just flirting. I didn't think it was actually like something that would actually happen.
Yeah. Well, it's totally natural, right? I mean, everyone kind of flirts at work, right? Because the relationship between men and women is different. So if you're working with a girl at work, it's just kind of natural to flirt. I get it.
I wish I was out in the field more instead of at the office. Those demo.
Yeah. I can kind of see it in your eyes. That's kind of where the path started, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if I was like, because when I went from like a rover to a field coordinator, like I would spend more time in the morning time in the office trying to get everything like situated where we're going to go, everything like that. And, if I was a rover, I'd be more out in the field instead of like coming to the office like for more than an hour.
Right.
It just gave me more time to run into her, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. What did she know about you? Did she know you were married at first?
She did once I showed her the pictures on my phone.
Yeah.
Like the home screen picture.
So was your wife in that picture, or was it just your girls?
It was just my girls right there, but my wife was the lock screen.
Oh.
So she knew I was married to my kids.
Okay.
Are you aware that she said she didn't know you were married? What did you think about that?
I figured it was like just trying to save face, trying to I was just trying to. Something my sister said, it was like just trying to keep things together.
Yeah.
Just trying. She phrased it a different way, but just kind of like just like ground control, just trying to control everything that's going on around her. I'm sure she got bombarded by all kind of different sides from the media and everything. So, and
Have you talked to her at all? No.
I'm hoping she hasn't written me in a different alias or something. I'm not talking to her that way.
Oh.
And are you not allowed to talk to her?
I would hope not.
Okay. No one told you that though?
No, I mean, I would expect I thought in Colorado it said on a DOC list that if you're on a victim list, you can't call anybody.
Oh, right.
But here, I'm not sure if that's the same. But I just talked to my sister, parents, some friends of my parents.
Okay.
Do you wish you could talk to her?
Maybe once, just to
get some closure?
Just to say, hey, just once.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey, I'm sorry this all happened. I'm sorry. I'm not sure, what happened, afterwards, what you went through, if you have, counseling, if you're, different state, if you had to leave everything behind. I just wanted to let you know I'm sorry, and that's something I never saw in my life happening or happening to somebody else either.
Would you be alright if we told her that?
That's fine.
Do you want us to? Do you want us not to?
And if she would want to even talk to you guys, then I'm not sure if someone comes up. I'm sure she'd answer your phone call more than return a phone call that she didn't want to go answer. Yeah.
Oh, so your attorney tried to call her and she wouldn't answer?
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember her phone number, but after that they figured out, I guess, where she lived. They left a call, business card there. And she just, pretty much after the fifth attempt, she said stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's getting bombarded like everyone else, so.
And hopefully it's calmed down since, but I'm sure, I just hope she can, I don't know if there's, normalcy for her, not since she's on the outside, but I'm hoping it can get that way at some point. I'm not sure if she had to leave Colorado or not, but I'm sure, that would have been hard if she did.
Mm-hmm.
I know Anadarko was her dream job, so that's one thing I always asked my attorneys is did she have to leave? Did she have to do anything at work? And that was one thing. So she always told me that was her dream job. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? What did she mean?
In the oil company in Anadarko, unless you're working for BP or ConocoPhillips or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Anadarko's
it's big leagues.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask kind of a tough question?
Yeah.
Did you love her?
I felt like it was true.
Yeah. I think so too. I think it was the same from her. Yeah. Okay. Tell us about the time you spent with her.
Well, it felt like it was, I think, when you say, more a shy guy, it's kind of I never, been pursued by anybody before. It's kind of I was the one, trying to pursue. Because, when me and Shanann met, it was she was always, pushing me away, kind of,
She was sick for a while, right?
she had just got diagnosed with lupus, and she was on, a bunch of different medications and stuff. And, it was, I guess I wasn't her type. And
you weren't her type?
I wasn't her type.
Okay.
She told me when she first, because we had met.
She told you that?
Yeah.
You're not my type.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, it was when we first met, it was at a movie theater. My cousin's ex-wife set us up.
You were dressed like shit, weren't you?
I
think that's what you told me.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They weren't having any games.
So she was fancy and he was in shorts and tennis shoes or something, right?
And, I should know the doorman, was in a suit. And I was just this isn't good.
Was it at the theater?
It was a fancy theater, right?
It was in Charlotte. It was called the Epicenter. And apparently, they give you champagne and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, this is a fancy date night theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he came like he was going to a Cinemax.
I was going to a pop.
Like an AMC.
A play theater?
No, it was like you watched a normal movie, but you can drink champagne and have a Jack and Coke inside the theater and just sit there and just whatever. But when she first saw me, she was like, I should probably just turn and talk to the bartender a little more. No, I'm not. You're here to meet. But yeah, I was persistent trying to pursue something. I liked her, and even on our first date, like I couldn't even eat anything. Really, I was just like,
You're so nervous?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. She was just like chowing down. And she was like, "You eat like a bird." I'm like,
Oh, that's funny.
And she talked to my parents like months later. She's like, "This guy just never ate." It's like a trash disposal. It's a trash disposal. I was like, "No, not around me." I was like, "Well, I was nervous." I was always like shaking and everything. But yeah, I was always pursuing her, and then just like finally, I grew onto her. Like I would always like with her medications and stuff. I would always she had like 8 bottles of medications, so I would always get like her day and nights and kind of like put them all in that little flip open
Pill box.
all that kind of stuff. And I would always be around her. I even went to her colonoscopy. And she said after that she knew that was a kind of a keeper. It's like who goes to a colonoscopy after 3 months with somebody?
Right.
It's a little soon.
But she asked if she needed a ride. I'm like, yeah. She's like, you want to go to colonoscopy with me? I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Like, I even sat with her while she drank that nasty stuff all day.
Yeah.
Oh. Or she's in the bathroom
That's
all
a good
night.
test.
that clear stuff that doesn't really taste clear. Yeah, but yeah, it felt like it was a great relationship. Everything was great.
Now you're talking about with Kissinger?
No, with
Tom
Motion and like the first year, my parents never. I don't know. My mom was always kind of hesitant.
Why?
I was the baby, I guess. I never, because I never had a girlfriend in high school, so it's kind of like she never really saw me
Oh, interesting. So she's kind of watching her baby walk out a little bit.
Yeah, because when I turned 18, I graduated. I never moved back.
Okay.
Got that at home, so
And
my
how
sister
old-
moved back and forth all the time. So
How old were you when you met Shanann?
I was 25. It was 2010. So
Okay.
So no serious girlfriends before that?
nothing more than like 6 months or so. Yeah, there was some girls here and there, but just nothing more than the last girlfriend I had before Shanann, she would just actually got divorced, and I should never did that. But it was more of I was kind of like helping her get through her divorce. It seemed like she went on to somebody else. I'm like, oh, nice to know.
You're the rebound guy?
The rebound guy.
Pretty much, but that's how it goes.
Would you say that in your relationships with women, it seems to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong, it seems to me like you're attracted to maybe a more dominant personality?
It seemed like it because I'm more of the just reserved. I mean, I just kind of go with the flow type.
Yeah.
And Shanann usually made all the decisions. It seemed like so.
I get that. I'm the same. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't think that's right with you, but
So then, and I know it's hard to keep bouncing back and forth, but and one of the reasons we're here is we just keep telling ourselves, Chris just does not fit the mold. Chris does not.
no.
Like it just blows us away what happened, right? And so we will do a little bit of bouncing back and forth, and that's really just to get to know you a little bit better, because we never really got that chance, did we? We were talking about
twice.
Yeah.
Met you once.
Yeah.
Probably like 3. Well, remember 3 or 4 times probably.
So then do you call her Nikki or Nicole?
I would call her Nikki.
Okay.
I know there's so many Nickies and Nicoles in this.
Right, there is.
I got confused.
So we'll call her Nikki. So then with Nikki, was it different?
It just seemed like I was more in control. It seemed like, and that never happened. She'd actually ask me my opinion on a lot of things, and just what I wanted to do, and just kind of okay.
That was new, wasn't it?
Very new.
Oh, it's fascinating to me. And so did it feel more like an equal partnership, or?
It seemed like it.
Yeah. Okay. So then, when it was date night, would you guys talk about it? Would you ask to go somewhere, or would she say, I want to go somewhere? Was it a two-thing?
The first time we went out, it was to a movie over at the Orchard, about 44th over there, and I asked her hey, you want to go see this movie? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. And we got there, it was sold out, and normally you probably just have just wait 2 hours, just go home, but not she just wanted to walk around and just talk. And okay.
Oh wow.
So that was different, and I think she wanted to go to the car museum, Shelby Museum in Boulder. I've never been there. And
That's right up your alley.
yeah, like I was just like, that was awesome. Just walk around cars for like an hour or so, and then drag race in Vandermeer.
Okay.
And I haven't been to a drag race since 2008. And that was in Charlotte.
Okay.
Like that was a rolling drag strip over there. And it's like the NHRA, the Top Fuel, and fun car stuff. Like me and my dad used to grow up.
Yeah.
Go there like all the time. And then like we went to camping in Sand Dunes National Park, and I'd never been camping. I always wanted to do it. She's done it like countless times.
Oh, really? Okay. She's outdoorsy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's. I guess every time like she needed to clear her head, she'd just go by herself. Just go somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she's a completely new type of person and relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What were you thinking this whole time? Like, in the back of your head?
In the back of my head, I was just telling myself, what are you doing? Like, every time, I open up my phone, I can see pictures, like, of my wife and my kids, and it's like, what am I doing? And then, like, every time I was with her, it seemed like I didn't think. It seemed like it was like a blinder that was in my face.
Oh.
And it was, like, every time I look back on it, like, I have pictures of my wife and kids. Myself. And, like, every night, or every morning, every night, I just, talk to them, say, like I have, like, this book. I used to read for Cece, and I remember that book, so I read that to them, like, every night. And, like, there's some scripture and stuff that I read to them, so I just try to think back, like, I wish this ever happened. And just, like, I wish that blinder wasn't on my head, wasn't in my eyes, that would have seen what was going on. Like, I was having, like, everybody says, oh, you're just out there having fun while your kids, or kids and wife are on vacation. I'm just like, no, it wasn't like that, but it seemed like that's what it looked like when, when you're going, you're going to camping, you're going to drag race, going all that other stuff that you have fun doing, but you're with somebody else, it's not your family. It just didn't seem right.
Yeah.
With her, it just didn't seem like I could even see that anymore. Yeah. I was there at her house pretty much every night. So it was like I didn't have that time at home just to really think about anything. Because literally I didn't, like, I was only at home from, like, when I got home from work. I worked out, I ate dinner, and then I went over to her house. Like, I never slept in my house from, like, the whole month of July.
Now, talk me through that, though. When you said you went home and then you were at her house, was that while Shanann was gone? Oh, okay. So you weren't even at your house.
No.
This all happened so quickly, didn't it?
It was insane quickly. Like, I didn't, like, she even told me, like, she was never, in, like, a normal relationship, she would never have somebody over at her house, like, more than, like, once or twice a week, but she felt like she wanted me over there.
Yeah.
She said she felt comfortable over there.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, that's what was different, like, she wanted me over there. But I just wish that all that could just go away. I just wish I almost like I know it's hard. I know it's wrong to say I wish I'd never met somebody, but I wish I'd maybe met her at work and then just kept it that way.
I think if we had a time machine, I don't think this would happen again. Because some people, when this happens, you're like, well, if it wasn't this time, it would have been next time, or it would have been the next time. It just wouldn't have happened with you, would it? And it happened so quickly that you tell me if I'm wrong. You're not the type of guy to take control sometimes when you need to. Yeah, it seems like that's just what happened.
Yeah, I didn't take control of the situation. It's like the situation controlled me.
Right, it just happened. No, I get that, man. I'm somewhat passive myself, and it's like, there's situations where I'm like, oh, why did I let that keep going?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was like a roller coaster ride that I just kept punching and taking on, and I just never picked it up.
Yeah. Can we talk about the hardest subject? So when we were talking, the last time we talked, the last thing we talked about was where the girls were, but we never really got to talk about that night. What happened?
So nothing really happened that night. It was in the morning.
Okay.
It was, me and Shanann, she got home like at 2 o'clock. And, I felt her get into bed. And I just felt like I didn't really, so I just wanted to make sure I looked at my phone at 2 o'clock to make sure she was up, she's in there. And I could kind of feel her kind of stirring around a little bit. And I just had a feeling that she knew like what was going on. Because I mean, obviously, I didn't use like an NRCO gift card, that I got, and I used my actual credit card, and I kind of just felt like something. She knew what was going on, and she started rubbing her hand on me, and we ended up having sex. But I guess that was more like a test.
Oh,
I would have thought.
interesting. Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
because when we talked, when I woke up later on in the morning, I pretty much, told her, I didn't think it was going to work anymore. And she was like, what happened? What was last night? So I figured that's what the test after I've gone through everything in my head.
That makes sense.
And she just told me, to get off of her. And she was like, I knew there was somebody else, I knew there was somebody else, I knew there was somebody else. And I couldn't just say, yes, there is somebody else, but then she said, you're never going to see the kids again, you're never going to see them again, get off me, don't hurt them. And then,
Is that what you said?
so because like when I climbed in bed, I was pretty much like on top, pretty much like straddling her, kind of deal.
Okay.
And she thought I was gonna hurt her or hurt the baby or something. So, because she knew that something had happened. She thought I was just trying to just check out or something.
Okay.
And then that's when it happened.
I know it's hard, but do you mind if we talk just a tiny bit deeper about that? So she comes home. She touches you. You guys have sex. It seems like she's doing her test, which I understand. Sounds like you do too.
I'm sure, Nikki or Nikki, Cole Atkinson or Cassie probably told her,
That's what I was thinking, right? They talked about it during that whole weekend.
more than like that. That's my parents told me there was going through text messages. It's all pretty much they all kind of just told her he's with somebody else type of deal.
Yeah. And she spent a lot of time with the gals. That's what they did probably all weekend is talk about it, give her advice. I think that's what we found, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she comes home. You guys have sex. And then did you fall asleep between then and going to work?
Yes.
Okay. So then at some point, does she wake you up or did you wake up for work?
Not a lot of more.
Oh, okay. And you're going to work out. But then that's when she started wanted to talk more. And she was pretty mad. Okay.
Yeah, it was. I had already kind of knew that. Using that credit card,
Was that intentional?
Yeah.
I had no other way to do it.
Oh.
I used because I got these NRCO gift cards from doing good stuff at work and stuff like that, and I had to use them all.
Oh. Was part of you just screw it, whatever, I don't care. I'm using this card.
Part of me just wants to say, thank you for this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Even I think from what my attorney said, she even noticed I used a different card, like a blue card.
Oh.
Maybe she thought, I felt comfortable enough just using a normal bank account or something. But I told her I was going to Rocky, and I told you guys.
Yeah.
It was just it felt like looking back at everything, just reading the scripture more and more now, I can see God gave me opportunities to get out. Even my friend Jeremy Lindstrom, he even invited me because it was his daughter that came and watched the kids on that Saturday night. And he was like, hey, you said we're going to a Rocky game, you want to go to the Bronco game and watch the Arizona Cardinals? In my mind, it was go. Just say, hey, I can't find a babysitter.
To Nikki?
Yeah. And maybe that would have been like a light switch in my head goes off, light switch in her head goes off, maybe it just like goes different directions. That was kind of like my last like opportunity to kind of get out. It seems like I wish I would have said, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And I think that would have just put me on a different trajectory.
So then, Shanann, did she actually say you're never going to see the kids again?
She said it to me before.
Yeah. That's kind of hard to hear.
Yeah, because she'd said to me before she went to Arizona. Because like I wasn't really sleeping in the bedroom, I was sleeping on the couch or in the basement bed or something, and like she had slammed the door, you're never going to see the kids again. Something like that.
Did she get fiery like that?
Only once in our entire relationship I've ever seen her that way.
Yeah. And that was a time before, or was that on the night that it happened?
No, it was right back in North Carolina.
Oh.
It was just like one of those, it was just a fiery argument that I never raised my voice to her or anything, and like, I just got mad and I slammed the door, and she's like, I'm like, I shouldn't slam the door.
Is that when you were in North Carolina that last week?
No, it was like
previous to
this
that.
was like 2010, 2011.
Oh.
It was like early. In her old house.
Before kids?
Yes.
Were you dating or were you married at that point?
Dating.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just like I don't remember what it was about. I think some girl maybe texted me like from my past or something, and like I was just like, this, and she was like, don't have that happen again. And I'm just like, I can't have friends.
Right.
They're females. Like I don't even talk to this little bit anymore.
Right.
And it was just like, no.
Was she fiery? Did she have that Italian blood that her mom has?
Lord, yes.
Was she always like that, or was she? Did she snap at things?
She would snap at me, but you could tell, like, something really irked her a little bit.
Yeah.
It would come out.
0 to 100 type thing, or what?
0 to 200.
Oh, interesting.
She gets acclimated about something. It's like, all right, it's gonna happen.
Well, that's why she was probably so successful at Thrive, right?
Oh yeah, like she had done a couple other like direct sales business, but this one was just like it was different.
Why?
This one, like, because I think she had done like Origami Owl and like something called like It Works, and then like other couple other things like some bags and stuff like that. But the supplement stuff, just because it worked with her, it worked with me. She's like, okay, I can kind of like use this as like, all right, this is what it's doing for us.
Yeah.
And then like after a little while, like she could see how like people are above her, how it was helping them, and then it was just like trickle down effect. And it was like a good system about like commission wise and everything was just she could use all the business IQ she has from running those cell phone shops and from the Dirty South custom shops and all that. I mean, she's business minded. Yeah. She knows how to do accounting book like the back of her hand. So it all just like fell into place with all that.
So then on that night, was it just a new type of fight?
It was
never had, or what? What happened?
Yeah, it was a totally different type of fight. It was, it just felt like, I don't know, it was more anger than anything else. Like there was emotion to it at first, and it just felt like it was just anger. It was just like, like there was no love there. It was kind of like what we were saying, what she was saying. It was just like, it's almost like we knew like something was combating at each other. And we didn't know, like, it wasn't ourselves.
Really? Anger from you or anger from her?
I think it was more anger from me and more like desperation from her to, because she wanted to fix it.
Yeah.
She knew something wasn't right. Like, like when the whole thing with my parents happened with my parents called it Nutgate.
What happened?
Nutgate.
What's that?
With the peanut.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, with her family?
Yeah.
Pistachio ice cream or whatever.
Yeah, they somebody
Nutgate.
call it Nutgate.
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that either.
Yeah, I guess what people are calling it.
Yeah.
But that was like another out. Like, maybe I could have just like stopped everything with Nikki and just kind of concentrated on helping like whatever happened there.
Okay.
Like, Shanann had a story, my mom had a story. Like, whatever happened, I probably asked my 10-year-old nephew, probably to tell me what actually happened.
Well, and they both have their feelings for good reasons, and they both didn't see it the other person's way. And
Yeah, and like maybe because I didn't talk to my parents from then on until like August 6th, and like my dad took that whole week off.
you didn't talk to your parents from then on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like Shanann was like, do not talk to them, do not call them, do not do anything.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, and the Cece's birthday was 17th, but I think the actual birthday party was like a couple days after.
In August?
July.
In July?
Yeah. And like my mom or my dad was going to go, but then there was like a post on Facebook about allergies and stuff like that Shanann had made, and my dad was like, no, I just can't do it anymore. It's like because
He perceived that as her taking a shot type thing?
yeah.
Okay.
Like she always says she never put those posts directed at anybody, but she had a method.
If you read them, you know who she's talking about.
She had a method to the madness, and you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I could have just took more time just to fix that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted my parents to be involved. Like since like the whole wedding thing, and then up to that, it was like my mom, and my sister were always like combating with Shanann combating with them. My dad was always cool. Like he's just like me. He's just like go with the flow. Like I just want everybody to get along type deal.
Shakespeare.
I loved your dad.
Ronnie's the best.
Isn't he? I
So-
loved your dad.
I'm sorry, keep going.
That's cool. I just wish I could have just when we were in the beach in August. Like my dad was supposed to take the whole week off just so we could see the kids and see me and like grab a pick out of my sister's house or something. And then, but we just pretty much spent 5 days at the beach, and Shanann had booked it so I don't want to say punishment for them not to see the kids, but I wanted them to see it, see them. I wish I could have fixed all that. I even when I was at the beach, I told Shanann that it was more like what was going on was more I feel because my dad's my hero, I feel like I've lost something in my life. I haven't talked to him for 3 weeks. And I haven't seen the kids for 3 weeks, FaceTime or anything. And I wanted them to be able to have that relationship again. And she was pretty much gung ho, she tried to kill my daughter by giving her pink. I was like, I don't think she gave it to her.
And was that her stance? Is that your mom
put something in front of Cece?
Like to kill her, or
No,
just
just
didn't care,
didn't
pay attention?
She thinks that allergies and this state of age is people think it'll be
it's
fine.
made up kind of thing.
He'll be fine. He'll just have a rash. He'll be fine. I've seen Cece, the first time. Well, I've seen a picture of her in a cashew the first time. It wasn't good. And then she got kiwi the second time, and then the same thing happened. And I know it's real.
Do you know it's serious? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not it wasn't her throat closed up, but she broke out in this full body rash. It looked really crazy looking, and luckily nothing with her throat happened. But
So did that make you angry at your mom for doing that?
yeah, I mean, I just no, you just gotta. I told her you need to think. You need to pay attention. Just because another kid can have something doesn't mean another kid can have something. Because when we were at that birthday party at Jeremy's that Sunday, they had this cake there. Bella wanted it so bad. I'm like, can't give it to you because Cece can't have it. She's like, okay. And all the other kids were like, they can't have the cake. I just kind of took them off and gave them some one of those frozen pops or something. But it's just she had to learn that just because one kid can have something and there's another kid that can't have it for a legitimate reason, she couldn't have done it. But that's the kind of talk I had with her when Shanann called me. I think it was maybe middle of July or something when she told me all this had happened. That's when I called my mom and talked to them for a while, and then they were just they just couldn't deal with her anymore. Shanann just kind of it flipped out. My nephew told Bella to go hide behind the curtain because I don't think your mom was going to let you come over here again or something like that.
Aww.
So it got heated.
Oh, it was bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a last straw between them, I think.
In the same room or over the phone?
No, they were
So they were
my
really
mom's
heated.
house. Yeah, but Cece and Bella and my niece and nephew were there.
Okay.
How did Shanann find out about the ice cream thing?
Because Shanann was there, and I guess they were all sitting. One of those couches, kind of like a U, and my niece went into the kitchen, and she knew where the ice cream was. And she's been there.
So it's not like your mom gave it to her? Like she got her own ice cream?
Yeah, she went in the freezer, got it, went out, and sat beside Cece, and started eating.
Oh.
But like, it's just a matter of like, Cece could go like like that. Now, I don't know what would happen if she just got it on her hand.
Right.
But like, I know on like the prick test, on the back, it's like a welt.
So were they staying there at your parents' house during that time?
Yeah, it was. So they would go from from Sandy and Frank's house for like a few days or 5 days, and go to my mom and dad's house for a couple of days, back and forth.
Okay. So it happened during that time. You were there, yeah. Okay.
So there were so many things that happened, weren't there? That just were little tiny ingredients to this recipe.
Yeah, nothing like.
It's nuts, Chris. I mean, it's just so many things just didn't go your way.
Everything was like somebody was stirring a pot, and it was just
That's exactly what it was like. So then, I know I keep bringing it up. Can you walk me through just the last few minutes before Shanann died?
It was pretty much just like I had gotten dressed for work, and then like we started talking.
Did she come to you?
No, I was just right there in bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just like, I got my blue shirt on, my jeans and everything.
You ready to go?
I was ready to go. And
Was she asleep, or did you have to wake her up to finish your conversation? Or?
I would wake her up because like she got home like 2 o'clock, so she pretty much out of it. But I never knew like if her plane got delayed. Someone always told me like she just like sat around with Nicole and just like talked for a while and came home or something. I'm not sure if that was true.
It was delayed.
Yeah. But when she came home and everything, but yeah, like I woke her up to talk to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is that because it was just eating at your brain?
Yeah, like I knew like something like something didn't feel right with me. So I know like she knew. I just knew she knew. I just felt like maybe the kids weren't going to be there when I got home that day.
Oh, interesting. Now, I don't mean to offend, but I have to ask, is that really the truth? Okay.
I really felt like they weren't going to be there when I got home that day.
Oh. And
Like
so,
she would take them somewhere?
No, I just felt like either maybe I wouldn't go home, maybe they weren't going to be there, or I would be allowed in, type thing.
I think I saw some text messages where Shanann talked about that she would take the kids to another state or something because she wouldn't be able to afford to live in Colorado or something like that. Did she say that kind of stuff to you, or what did she say about that?
She said she couldn't afford to live in Colorado on her own, and that I told her, look, well, we can drive, and she pretty much makes the same amount I do.
Yeah.
But she said that she wouldn't want to try, just because Colorado the price of living there was a lot higher than North Carolina.
And just so I'm clear, you thought maybe in your mind, you thought maybe she would take the kids somewhere else or like lock you out of the house or
just like I wouldn't want to make a scene like try and like pound on the door trying to get in or anything like that. But like, I just felt like that was what I did on Sunday. It was kind of like, or Saturday night was kind of like the last straw. Kind of like going out with somebody and using an actual bank account card and just like not trying to hide it at all.
So walk me through it though, because she comes home, she touches you, you guys have sex, you fall asleep, then you wake up for work, all natural, all, a normal day's work type thing.
Yeah.
What was it that made you think, I just can't do this anymore, I have to talk to her?
It was eating away at me. Like I knew like something. I knew everything that I did. Like I know like when I was with Nikki, it was different. Like I wasn't even like in the realm of I'm a dad, I'm a husband type thing.
Oh.
And then like I was saying, when I'm never at home, like sleeping in my own bed, like I have no like concept of that anymore.
Interesting. So in your mind and heart, you could have moved on.
Like it kind of felt like if I wasn't at home, like I didn't think about it almost. Cause like if I wasn't sleeping on my own, but like I think there was at one point like Nikki had gone to the mountains with her friends for like a few days, like into June, first part of July, and then like that part obviously I was home, but like from that whole month of July on, it was like I was never at home. Like I never had all those reminders around me. I never had, like every time my wife would call me, I would be at Nikki's house.
Oh, while she was in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would like, walk outside and talk to her, like when I was next to the car or something like that. I would never be at home looking like have all these pictures around me, just being in the same bed, seeing my kid's bed, seeing everything that we go for the last 6 years.
And so, did you just want to once and for all get it out in the open?
I just wanted to just tell her how I was feeling at that point in time. Like I didn't feel like me and her were compatible anymore. Honestly, I didn't feel like that because what was going on with Nikki, it was new. It was new.
Right, absolutely.
Anything that's new always feels better than the old.
Yes.
You were probably bitten by the love bug.
Yeah,
That's how a lot of therapists talk about it. Yeah.
It was just like, I never felt that. I mean, even like with new relationships in the past, like it always felt different, like, the first couple weeks and then, but it just, with someone Nikki felt different. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just like you said, like, I was more in control and like it was more of like maybe more of me coming out. Shanann always said like it always seemed I was more myself around other people, like, her cousin Cody, like Cody came up to visit us for a little bit while we were in Colorado for a little while, and Cody always talked about, like, how Chris is so funny, Chris is like, Shanann would always like, why are you gonna like that with me? I'm just like, maybe I always felt nervous around you.
There's only so much oxygen in the room, right? I say this to some people with dominant personalities.
I just always felt nervous. I always felt like I was, never could actually just, be myself.
Right.
Nikki, I was myself, like, all the time. It was just different.
Well, and it seems as though, and again, hard to talk about, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but it also seems, is it accurate to say that sexually you were able to say, Nikki, this is what I would like, this is what I'm into, or blah, 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 and maybe not with Shanann?
No, Nikki just wanted, she wanted what she wanted. She wanted to do it pretty much all the time. And I was just like, okay, that's fine with me.
Okay.
With Shanann, it was just like, I'm like, hey. Sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't. But that wasn't the case as far as that. Like, it wasn't just like sex or whatnot. But it was me. I would just want myself. I could just not think about what I was going to say or plan what I was going to say or not. Going to say something stupid or something. But,
right.
A little bit of freedom.
Can I ask you something about that morning that you had sex with Shanann? Did you feel at all like maybe you were kind of cheating on Nikki by doing that?
I felt strange. I felt like, the first time I was with Nikki, I felt weird. First time, like, sure. And then the last time I was with Shanann, I felt totally strange. I was just like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I had become. I felt like I had become people I see on TV, and that did not feel right with me. Like I didn't know what had happened to me. Mm-hmm. So Nikki even asked me, like, have you done this before? Have you ever strayed away? I'm like, I've never even thought about it. It's like, what's different? It's like, I guess it's just you that's different because I've just never actually, like, I've seen girls smile at me before, never done anything about it. With her, it was just like, it's like she had a leash on me and she tugged me away. Mm-hmm. As soon as she walked, I'm like, what the heck knows what's going on? So.
Well, and Tammy brings up a very good point. I wonder if that last time with Shanann having sex had somewhat of a role in you thinking,
like a trigger?
I got to do something, I got to say something, we got to have a talk, something's got to change. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I felt like it was like maybe like a trigger point or something, like you hit the push button on a bomb, it just blows up.
Right.
Just something in my head was just like something, something was hurting. Just like I had to say something.
Okay. So then, exactly what did you say and what happened?
So when I woke her up, and just like, hey, we just gotta talk.
Okay.
And just like I told her, I don't feel compatible. I don't feel like this is gonna work. I just, I don't want to. Like, can we cancel a trip to Aspen? She had booked a trip that week to go to some like mystery 4-star luxury hotel or something.
Just the two of you or the whole family?
Just me and her.
Okay.
And she had Amanda there, couldn't watch the kids that weekend or something.
Okay.
And I was just like, can we cancel that? Can we like do something? Like, from what I remember, I even said, can we move to Brighton just to get away from like this house?
Oh.
But like, I'm not sure if that was like in the beginning or the end of part of the conversation or whatnot. that conversation was so many different ways. Like they'd gone from like staying together to not staying together to just like all of the above.
Okay. So this is half an hour, or what?
Definitely not more than half an hour. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think.
Are you crying? Is she crying?
It's back and forth. It's like, she's got mascara. She didn't wash her face when she got home. She had makeup on still, so mascara was running all over her and stuff like that. Yeah, it was nothing about that conversation. I just wish I could take all of that. Just the whole thing back, everything. But
So then when did it turn?
as far as that conversation, just at the end when I was telling her, like, I told her I didn't love her anymore. And that's when it happened.
What happened?
She told me to get off her, and I put my hands on her.
Okay.
Did you say she said something like that you were hurting the baby or something?
That was before that, because like when I was straddling her, it was kind of like around her waist type deal.
Why did you get on her like that?
I just when we got on the bed, that's just what I got on.
Is that so she would listen to you?
I felt like she could probably listen to me just laying beside her, but I got on top of her. Mm-hmm. And every time I think about it, I'm just like, did I know I was going to do that before I got on top of her? I don't know.
Really? That's an interesting thought, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if you did.
It's like, everything that happened that morning, I don't know, like I try to go back in my head, I'm just like, I didn't want to do this, but I did it. Everything just kind of like...
Felt like you had to?
It just felt like it was... I don't even want to say it felt like I had to. It just felt like there was already something in my mind that was implanted that I was going to do it, and I woke up that morning, it was going to happen, and I had no control of it.
You never thought about it before?
It was just like, I don't want... Like in the sentencing hearing, that prosecutor said it takes 2 to 4 minutes for something like that to happen. Like, why couldn't I just let go? I didn't.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, I just let
Was
go.
it feeling like it was in motion and you just couldn't stop it?
Yeah, it was just like, I don't even want to know what she saw when she looked back at me, honestly.
Did you look at her? What was she doing?
She wasn't fighting.
Why do you think she wasn't fighting?
I don't know, maybe she was praying, maybe she was just... I read the Bible, it said, there's a scripture that says, don't forgive these people for they do not know what they do. Mm-hmm. Maybe she was saying that. I don't know what she was saying in her head, but she, like when you guys told me, like, take off your shirt and check for defensive wounds, and there wasn't going to be any. She didn't fight. I don't know why.
So she didn't grab. Could she grab your arms, or were her arms pinned down, or?
Not that I remember. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think like I moved to where my knees were around her arms or anything, but it was just kind of like when I got on top of her, we started talking. That was it. It's kind of like in my head, or like in the back of my head, that was going to happen, and just like at the end of the conversation, it was just like, that's what happened. I just wish I could have let go.
Did it seem like it was that long? 2 to 4 minutes? How long did it seem for you?
Almost kind of felt like it was longer almost, because it felt like time was standing still. It's kind of like I just saw my life just disappearing before my eyes, but it's just like I couldn't let go. It was like somebody else, like if you picture somebody else around you, holding your hands, holding you, to keep you from not letting go.
At some point there was a statement about rage. Do you feel like you were in a rage at that point?
That's the only way I can describe it, honestly. Like a snap. Like some, strangulation. It's more of like a, I don't know, passionate type thing. I'm just like, I don't know how that can be passionate.
It's just intimate because you're right in there,
Yeah.
using your own hands. It's a lot different than someone standing across the room and you shooting them or something like that. So
It just felt like somebody was like behind me, just like I just couldn't let go.
It's interesting to me because there was a lot of things in your life that were like that, right? Where you're just like, maybe felt out of control, or maybe felt like, I don't know why I couldn't take a step back, or, you know, like even when you said, when your buddy was like, let's go to the football game, you wanted to say yes, you couldn't.
Yeah, I wanted to. Like, I hadn't been to a football game since North Carolina, so I was just like, yeah, sure. Like, I wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I wanted to just text him, hey, you know, it should have fell through, we can't. Go.
So, then what?
Just, after, you know, Shanann was, I guess, when she was gone, it was just like, I didn't know what was going on. It's like, it was like a traumatic, I don't know what you call it, traumatic event type, everything, like, I was shaking, I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I had done. I still wasn't in that right state of mind. I don't think like I was in control of what I could think or what I could do at that point in time. Like most people say, like, why well, just call 911? When it's like, unless you're in that situation, you don't know what you would have done. It's easy to play Monday morning quarterback.
I agree with that.
Like I said, if somebody shoots somebody, you don't know what they was going to do in mind at that point in time. You don't know what you'd have done.
So what happened next?
Bella came in.
Is that what happened? Bella came in. What she said?
Well,
did she hear something? Is that why she came?
Obviously, I think.
Okay. What'd you tell her?
I don't feel good.
And then, did that happen with Bella right in that room?
Not proper.
What happened?
She walked in as, she's talking about she was
Did you take her back to her room?
I put Shanann in that sheet and found the site.
Okay. And what?
Carried her downstairs and backed my truck up.
At that point, were the girls still there? Okay. So then Shanann's in the truck. Then went back to the house.
And got everybody back in the truck.
Was Bella first or was Cece first?
In the truck.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So Shanann was first. And then Bella was next. Was Bella alive when you guys got in the truck? Oh, okay. What happened?
We woke back up.
Okay.
I don't really want to talk about this part, honestly.
Okay.
Those are my kids. But baby, I just talk to them every night. I don't stay up.
Okay.
Every time I see pictures of them, I don't know how this could have happened. And being a dad was the best part of my life. I took it all away.
I think that's the hardest part for us, Chris, is we see those videos, we see that love that you had for your girls, like, it's obvious to us, and even to us, it's hard for us to understand how a dad who's given piggyback rides and, making snacks and watching
Live? When you guys got in the truck? Oh, okay. What happened?
I woke back up.
Okay.
I don't really want to talk about this part, honestly.
Okay.
Those are my kids. But baby, I just talk to them every night. I don't stay up. time I see pictures of him, I don't know how this could happen. And being a dad was the best part of my life. I took it all away.
I think that's the hardest part for us, Chris, is we see those videos, we see that love that you had for your girls. Like, it's obvious to us, and even to us, it's hard for us to understand how a dad who's given piggyback rides and, you know, making snacks and watching princess movies and those kinds of things, how you get to that point, you
I
know?
don't know. Like I said, it was just like something else was controlling me that day. I had no control over what I was like to fight back.
Yeah.
Like when that prosecutor said about a bitter tongue, like repeatedly, I just wanted to just bang my head up against the wall.
So you put Shanann in the truck, and then you put the two girls in the truck? Were they just sitting in their car seats, or I guess they didn't probably have car seats in your truck, did they?
No, I was sitting in the back with the, like in that bench sheet.
So Shanann was back there too?
She was on the floor.
What did they say about Shanann being on the floor?
Mommy, okay?
What did you tell them?
She'll be fine.
Did you have their stuff with them, like their toys and their blankets and stuff?
They had something with them that they carried. One of them, I think, had like CCM belt, had like a blanket or something with them, like a pink blanket or.
What about the dog? I think one of them had a dog, right? That talked or dog.
Yeah, CC. Yeah, one of them had like a little barking dog.
Was that with you too? Do you know?
I think it was. Try to. It's hard to remember. Like if they had like a big blanket, small blanket.
So, I think I saw on the video that you put a gas can or something in the back of your truck. Is that right? Did you have different plans when you put that in there?
I don't know what was going through my head. I felt like maybe I could just get rid of myself at the same time if I was doing all this, honestly.
Yeah.
Did you speak about that?
What did you think about that?
I didn't feel like I deserved to live after what had happened.
Was there any thought to the whole family going away that day, to include you?
After everything happened, that's a definite thought.
Yeah. See, it's interesting to me. We had all kind of wondered if there was a point when you were all together and if you were all going to pass together. That to me makes sense because that's, even though it sounds crazy, that's what a family man does, right?
Family man doesn't do what he did.
No, I know. I guess what I mean is, it seems like you guys were going to be together forever in that way. Is that maybe what was going through your head?
Honestly, I just felt like I didn't deserve to live.
Yeah.
And it was like, whatever judgment I was going to come upon myself, you know, I just didn't deserve to be on this earth anymore. What happened?
Okay.
So what made you not do that, do you think?
I don't know if it was just more of like a, because with the site, maybe it was just more of like, I would have hurt more people than just me and everybody else. But I know there's other people out there, not like at the site, but other people like maybe out in the area. Like, I didn't want something like on the site to catch fire and blow up, and then other people around would get hurt from the same.
So you were thinking initially about starting a fire out there or an explosion or something, or?
No, not for that. Just like maybe I could take care of myself.
How?
I guess. I mean, that's the only thing. But I mean, I don't have like I don't have a gun. I don't have anything like that. It's not like you can just commit suicide that way. But
So just to blow yourself up?
I mean, it was just. I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I don't have weapons. I've never hunted before in my life. I don't know what. I mean, nothing was right that morning.
Yeah. I remember you kept telling me that. You kept saying, I didn't know what I was doing, Tammy. I didn't know. Like,
Yeah, when you asked
I
me about
remember,
the sheet, like, what were you doing? Like, I don't know what I was doing.
yeah. I think you were just like in automatic mode, or it seemed like. So did you drive straight out there? So what were you thinking on the way out there?
It's kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm just like, nervous, shaking, not knowing, like, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, my life is completely changed. I don't know, like, what's happening. Like, honestly, like, I try to picture that whole ride. Like, it's like 45 minutes to an hour ride out there. And it's just like, couldn't I have, like, saved my girl's life? Couldn't I have done something? Why did I do that? I don't know.
Right.
Like, this is my flesh and blood. This is, like, what I wanted all my life, was to be a dad, just to have, kids, and they love me, they, all that, and it just nothing made sense.
Right.
Like the oil tank, nothing made sense. I'm just like, what the doing?
Mm-hmm. So what happened when you got out there?
I took Shanann out just to a place off to the site, and then
What were the girls doing when you were doing that?
just sent them back in the truck.
And then what happened after that?
CC was first. She did have a blanket. She had a blue blanket. A Yankee blanket.
So was she alive when she went into the oil tank? No.
I put the blanket over her head.
And that's how she passed. Couldn't breathe.
I put the blanket over her head. I didn't want to, I strangled her right there in the back seat.
Okay.
What was Bella doing?
She's sitting right beside her.
Did she understand? Did she know what was going on?
She didn't say anything.
And then the same for Bella? Just without a blanket?
With the blanket.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look. Like every time I closed my eyes, I just hear her saying, "Daddy, no," and that was it.
That's what Bella said.
I hear that every day.
You really? I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry, it doesn't take anything back that I did.
I know. Is it possible that in your mind you didn't want them to suffer throughout their life? Was this like a mercy thing?
I mean, you can say that like after the fact, but it was just like, I don't.
You didn't feel like that during it?
I just didn't. I felt like it was just like an anger with Shanann, with everything, that I was just taking it out on everybody that was in front of me that morning.
Yeah.
I mean, kids growing up without their parents, I mean, depending on what grandparents or whoever they grew up with, seemed to be fine. But it was just like, it was an anger thing. It was just like.
And what were you so angry at Shanann about? Like if you could pinpoint it.
Nothing that makes anybody to want to do this. I mean, you can be angry at your spouse like your whole life, but you should never have done anything like this. You should never let it get to that point. But I let it get to a point where I've never been angry before. Like, and this is like the epitome of being angry.
Yeah.
The epitome of like showing a rage. The epitome of like losing your mind. And even like some people in here said, dude, like, what the heck happened? You must freaking snap. I'm like, I must walk away. I'm just like, I don't see it in my mind how it could, like, I look outside every day and like, what could we be doing right now? Right now I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and what might be a 1-month-old son. And a beautiful wife. And just like, right now it's just me.
I watched that video of you finding out that Shanann was pregnant. You don't seem excited. You seem like kind of in shock.
Scared.
And yeah, like, oh fuck. Like,
Well,
it's already complicated and now this.
Well, it's like, when we had talked about it, like a couple weeks, it happened fast. Like, with Bella, it was like, we almost gave up trying. And then she bought me like a supercharger for my car. And then with Cece, it was like, we had to try. And then finally, but with Nico, it was, once or twice. And then like 2 weeks later, she's pregnant.
Is that what happened?
Yes. It's just like, it was more of like surprise, scared. I'm like, wait, what? It's like, we just talked about this. Like, people have brought up the fact like, oh, she was probably pregnant before, like you guys even talked about it. I'm just like, it's not, no. But like, it was insanely fast. I'll give it that. Like, that's the only reason I ever gave that notion, like, even the moment of thought, because it was like faster than any other time that she'd gotten pregnant.
You just didn't seem happy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't remember the video much. I know she was wearing like a "Oops, we did it again" shirt, I think, and I was walking with my cooler or something. And I don't remember like my actual like reaction, like watching the video, but like I could see her probably see like didn't seem like he was jumping for joy type thing.
yeah, it didn't seem like that.
Did you watch the one of when I found out about Cece?
Oh.
No, okay.
Is it totally different?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Because Bella was in the crib and it had an eviction notice on the.
Oh, yeah, I think you told me about it. Yeah, I never saw it though.
Yeah, I picked up Bella and spun her around and whatnot. This time it was just me and Shanann, and she was in the kitchen. I don't know, like, I don't forget what date it was. Maybe like June 3rd or 5th or 7th. I'm not sure like what date it was in the video, but maybe I already felt guilty about talking to Nikki at work.
Yeah.
Maybe that was going through my head.
Is that the potential timing? Does that make sense? Okay.
I don't remember the video, what date the video was, but I knew like I kind of met Nikki around like June 1st. And I knew like she told me like afterwards.
When you say met her, you mean like went on a date with her?
No, I never went on a date with her until she was in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Just like flirting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was natural flirting back and forth, and I was just like, I knew that, like, with that video timing, I probably just looked like I was, like, felt guilty for even talking to the girl at work.
Well, you probably did, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys fight before, you and Shanann? I know you talked about, like, not really raising your voice and stuff. Was there... Because I want to say, didn't a neighbor talk about them fighting and stuff?
Yeah, but that was embellished and exaggerated, and he retracted that.
Oh, he ended up doing that?
Yeah, he retracted that, so...
Did you guys ever fight? Did you ever... was there any domestic violence in your house? Like,
No, we never...
this is strange to us to
Even
have...
from her to you, I mean,
Yeah.
she gets mad when she's pregnant and grabs a knife or
No, like...
scratches you or smacks you around or nothing?
No, she's never, like, nothing.
Okay.
That's what makes all this even more hard to understand from my standpoint, and from yours, too.
Yeah.
Did she ever belittle you at all? Did you ever feel that way, maybe?
Was that?
Did she ever make you feel like she belittled you, or you felt belittled by her?
I mean, there's always points like in a marriage where like the dominant person like takes control of everything, but like I was just, my whole life I just kind of went with the flow. Like I never like put myself in the center of attention. I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be in the back row.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if she did belittle me, I couldn't think of what pick at that point or time.
She never really felt that way, right?
No, I mean, I always knew I was like, the introvert, and she was the, she took control of most situations. Like when people came over, like, I knew what my goal was.
Yeah.
Like I watch videos of like cooking, or she'd make like power balls, or or like protein balls, or whatever.
Yeah.
You just don't seem like you want to be in those videos.
No.
Like I feel like you were being forced to be in those videos. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it seemed like to me.
I hated being in videos. I mean, I did it for her, because
Right.
it was for her business and
Sure.
stuff. But like it was, I hated just being out
Yeah.
for everybody to see. That's why like the whole like the gender reveal thing, I was just like, I didn't want it to be like some live Facebook video. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
But like, I never wanted to be out there.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like,
Well, even when she was, because we talk about this a lot, Tammy and I and Dave, even when it was, I think it was Florida on some Lavelle or Thrive thing, and she's like, here we are, and it's all expenses paid, and
I was like,
I remember looking at you and thinking, like, he is not into this video right now.
No, you don't look into any of the videos, I'll be honest with you.
I wouldn't be either.
Yeah.
That's not me.
yeah,
I get it.
I mean, I remember you talking about, like, she would even post stuff for you. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because you're technically a salesman, too, of
Yeah, I was-
Lavelle, of
yeah,
Thrive.
It's like she put me underneath her, not like anything, like any of my friends or stuff, like anything I do would help her.
Right.
So it was just, I would send her pictures. Like I should take a picture with your patch. I'm like, okay, send it to her, and then she'd make a post about it. And she was like, oh, you need to take more control over like your business and stuff. I'm just like, I don't know what to talk about.
Right.
Like if I wanted to talk to somebody at the mall or at the pool or somebody about this, I just stumble over my words and just like they'd be like, okay, bye. But no,
Yeah.
I'm not a salesman. She could sell everything you're wearing back to you,
Right.
and you wouldn't even know. It's like, wait, I just paid
Right.
for the shirt. I paid $20 for it. Yeah, it's those videos were not me. I did it just to support her. Like when she would always say, "Oh,
Could you tell her no? Could you say, I don't want to be in that video? Or was that an option?
probably not an option." I mean, it's like she would have been like, "Oh, what? This is to help our family. This is for to help this and that." So I couldn't have told her no. I mean, it would have made her mad. I would have been like, no. I wouldn't even start that. It's because it's for the business. It's for the family. I was just gonna try to help out wherever we can.
Right.
Did that actually make money?
Mm-hmm.
So not only just more sales, but it actually put money in your guys' pocket?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she made probably in that last year probably as much as I did.
On commissions, basically? I mean, I know that's a simplified version of it, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's they don't pay taxes out on it, so
Right.
that was like the good thing, and they pay for your car.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did they give you an allowance or something to buy a car?
yeah, if you're a certain level, like a 12K or above, they give you a car allowance once a month. I'm not sure how they made money. The owners doing that, but they did.
Yeah.
Unless there's just like an insane markup on the product, which I probably guess there is.
Probably is, yeah.
I'm not sure how much it costs them to make it. But
Yeah.
Did you feel like a different person wearing those patches?
especially like the Duo, the Burn. Like the Apple Watches. Like if you look on it, like when it tells you your exercise, it says I was exercising like all day. My heart rate was like up.
Oh.
Just from those patches.
Was it full of caffeine or what?
They just have something. They had something in them. I mean, the black label ones, the longer black ones, those had caffeine in them, but it never had that effect. I mean, the Duo Burn ones, the ones that are more of like the fat loss type, it felt like I was working out all day, even though it wasn't.
Oh, were you tired?
I mean, I know at some points, I mean, even Nikki said that, like, I'd fall asleep on the couch, on her couch while I was talking to her, and then, like, pick back up like I never knew I fell asleep. Which I don't know if it was, like, an insomnia thing or what, but, like, I wasn't sleeping much.
You had a lot going on then.
Yeah, but that was the only patches I really felt like a real big difference on, just because it felt like I was working out all day.
Mm-hmm. You don't feel like they changed your personality or anything like that, though? Or do you?
I don't really know. I know I just felt different on those and any other patch. I felt like I could just go longer and longer each day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure, like, if that was probably a bad thing. Because I don't think I was probably sleeping more than 3 hours a night.
So would you when Shanann was gone, would you stay with Nikki and then go home for, like, to get ready?
Yeah, I just wake up at, like, 4:30, go home and get ready for work and leave. And then just work out when I got back home.
Mm-hmm.
What were the conversations with Nikki as far as at some point you guys were talking about her helping you find an apartment? So what did you guys talk about as far as your future together?
That didn't really happen until, like, I got back from the beach. So I told her, like, I lied to her, like, hey, like, I had talked to Shanann about getting a separation.
And that talk hadn't happened yet?
No, I mean, it kind of, like, she knew something was going on.
Yeah.
She knew we weren't sleeping in the same room, and then she even mentioned the fact, like, hey, Colorado's 50-50 state or something like that. And which I was like, okay, well, I guess she looked it up. But, that actual talk hadn't, like, actually happened. I was just like, I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah. And so in conversations with Nikki, I get it. I mean, you're telling her, like, the progress toward the divorce is a little bit more than it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what were you guys planning?
So it was more of like, she's going to help me find an apartment that was affordable. That's kind of just around, like, Brighton, or maybe just close to work, like, for Lupton or something around there. That's kind of like where my area was.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk about moving in with her?
She didn't want that.
She didn't want that? Would you have done that if she would have been cool with that?
I've been love too soon, I would have thought. There was just, we'd only been really seeing each other, like, almost like a month, or maybe just talking about 2 months. That would have been really... But she called her house, like, her apartment, like, her... I don't know, like, her... kind of like a shield, or kind of like her... she had another word for it, but...
Like her safe place?
Yeah, like a safe place or something like that. And she said, like, people like to invade it, but that's why she always let me come over, because she said she felt like it was fine, like her dog liked me and everything. Like, she would say, hey, you just ship people on here type thing. Okay.
So you and Shanann, did you talk about selling the house? Or at what point did you? There was some discussion there with Ann Meadows.
Yeah, she had sent an email about Ann about, like, how we would go about, like, selling the house.
Yeah.
And I think Ann told her about, Ann was always about getting pre-approved. Just like, like, if you're going to sell your house, get pre-approved for, like, another house, so it's, like, much faster.
Yeah, so you can just quickly transition from one to the other. Okay. When did that happen? Remember?
I think it was either right before we left. No, that had to have been, like, first week of August, somewhere around there. I think she may have contacted her.
Okay. So the plan was maybe to buy a house. I think you told me in Brighton, you were thinking about buying a house in Brighton.
Yeah, just like, she liked that Adams 12 school system or something.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I think that's what Brighton is, Adams County.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about when you called the school that day, on Monday?
I was freaking out. I didn't know, like I was thinking in my head, like, what I just did, what I just done, and I didn't know, like, it was stupid to do anything. To call school, to call Ann, to call anybody. They were right to be, suspicious about anything. Like, 'cause I knew I probably sounded eccentric on the phone and out of sorts. And just, you know, I don't even know what they were thinking when they heard me.
I think they thought it was weird, but I don't know how you would not sound weird, you know, like you said.
So, are you 100% sure the girls were still around and alive when you drove out? Okay. So that's completely accurate. There's nothing else about that.
They got in the truck.
Okay.
Where did the blanket go?
Either probably in the trash can or something. I think.
In the trash?
It wasn't like it was still in my truck.
Okay. We thought we saw some GPS where you had stopped by near a construction roll-off dumpster. Is that true, or?
I think that's like I dumped my clothes in there.
So that would have been on the way back to the house?
My neighborhood.
Yeah. When Officer Kunab was there? Okay. Was it one of those red construction dumpsters?
More than likely.
Okay.
Did you pack new clothes? How did that work?
I already have some in there because, like, in case we have like a spill or something.
Oh.
If you ever get crude oil on you, you don't. Yeah, I had like 2 pairs of boots, and all kinds of different stuff in there, just because like this one time I had to clean up the spill and I had defrost on, and I had like a headache for like 2 weeks because it's like the crude oil that comes with that. So I always have something in there.
So where did you keep them after you took them off? Like, did you just change out there into your new other clothes?
So like I dumped my clothes in that dumpster.
But that wasn't that on the way back? When you were coming? Like, you'd already worked the whole day, right?
I worked like till like 11 or so.
11.
Yeah. So that was back when Nicole Atkinson.
Yeah, when she was at
when she
my
called.
house, sitting at the doorbell, that's when I
Right.
knew someone was at the house.
Right.
Did you think right then, like, oh fuck, like here we go? Or what were you thinking then?
I didn't even know why she was there. I was like, I didn't know, like, maybe she had an appointment or something with Shanann. I didn't know.
What did you think, like, that day, like, what you were going to say? Like, what was your plan? Were you just going to go home and be like, report to the police that your family's gone, or?
I had, like, I had no idea what was going to happen. Like, after everything, I mean, I don't even know how I was even acting even normal to people that I was around. Because when, like, Troy and Cody and Chad and Melissa and all them, like, you know, when they showed up on the site, I don't even know how I was even being somewhat even coherent what I was saying, but apparently they understood me. So I didn't know what was going to happen. Like you said, this wasn't like something like some Criminal Minds type.
Like, well thought out.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing like that.
You're just minute by minute at that point.
I had no idea what was going on.
So once the girls were gone, was it also just a minute by minute thing as far as the oil tanks?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I mean, just thinking about an oil tank just makes me want to fill up.
And was that just because it was in front of you and there it was and just presented itself? It wasn't a plan beforehand? Okay.
Was there any reason why the separate ones?
No, it's like you said, it was like going up the stairs, and it didn't. No, like what Frank said, it's like I was trying to separate everybody. That's not.
No.
No, I didn't want to separate anybody.
What was the reason?
I can't even tell you. It was like I said, like something else was in control of what I was doing, and it was like I was doing something I never thought I would ever do in my life.
Did you think there would be less chance of someone finding them if they were in separate tanks, or?
Sounds like over there.
No, I didn't. Whatever my reasoning was in my head that day, it wasn't sound. Nothing was right.
And you don't even remember thinking about it?
No, it was just like like a reaction of something that I wasn't even thinking about.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the trash bags? Do you remember that?
Oh, with
There were two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just trying to, because like she kept, I didn't want to, like when I was putting this one coherent, I guess, thing I had, like I didn't want the girls looking at Shanann while they were in the back seat.
So what'd you do?
I put a trash bag on one end and on her feet and on her head, so they didn't have to see.
And they were just too little to kind of figure out, right?
Yeah, they didn't notice.
Okay. That's good.
I just know, like when I was driving up there, I mean, they were just, sitting there, just, kind of asleep or kind of just like, holding on to each other, laying in each other's laps. I didn't.
Do you remember having any thoughts or thinking about why not just putting them all together with Shanann?
Honestly, it was just happening so fast. I had no time to really have a thought that was my own.
Okay.
But I wasn't like dutifully trying to separate anybody passing away, trying to keep anybody separate. And everything, Frank said, like I don't hold it against them. I mean, they can hate me they have a right to hate me for the rest of their lives.
They don't hate
They
you.
don't. In fact, while we're on the subject, I speak with them weekly, and I told them that we were going to come here and then hopefully would speak with us. And they told me to tell you, understandably, they're devastated. But they actually said that they love you. They still love you. And Sandy explained it. He's our son-in-law for 8 years. I can't just turn that off. So they don't hate you. They don't.
That's amazing to hear that.
Yeah. Well, and I can tell you, Sandy was the one that was most resistant to penalties in this case, and she said that. She told me that from the very beginning. That she didn't want that. It's God's decision. It's not her decision. And then she told me that even then. So it's not just a one-time thing that she has said it to me. It's been over the whole course of the event. So that's probably one of the most honest things someone's ever told me. So it's pretty amazing. Faith is. She's obviously a believer. So am I. I get it. So I understand it.
That's amazing to hear that.
Yeah. Good people.
I would have figured they would have hated me for.
They don't. I mean, anybody would think that. I certainly would have, but I have to admit I was surprised, really taken back by that. But they certainly don't. So.
What did they say when they knew you were coming out here?
They said they want to know, details because they need closure. And that's really all they want, and they want to keep it private. And I said, well, absolutely. That's we'll talk to them about what you told us, and just so they can put it past them, because they're having a hard time dealing with it and trying to get past it all. And I think that may help, just to know.
Closures, I mean, my parents still think, like I told them I pled guilty for a reason.
Right.
And like I told it to them when they had that video phone thing in Colorado the day before, like I pled guilty, like I plead guilty for a reason. Like I didn't just, I knew other people were watching, so I didn't just go in and just say anything. But, they seemed to take it and okay.
What made you do that, Chris? What made you plead guilty?
I didn't want anybody else to. I didn't want them to go through this for 2 or 4 years. I didn't want my attorneys to lie for me for 4 years.